Hello everyone. Just a quick note here from Editor Gill. Unfortunately, I'm a moron and continuously used my phone as a calculator while recording these clips, which then meant that my phone ran interference on my microphone, which meant that throughout this video there are buzzy sounds. I'm really sorry. It's stupid. If I had the time, I would re-record everything. I don't have the time. I don't have the time, nor the will. So please, really big apologies for that. Enjoy the video. Hello, and welcome back to another Kingdom Maker video with me, Mr. Gill. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for all of your previous views, likes, comments, suggestions, subscriptions, and all of that jazz. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do some analysis today. We're going to be talking about food. I complained recently that I need enormous amounts of food and it's very hard for me to get food, so we have gone through and calculated food and how we get all the foods. Here is how we get all the food. If I'm very good, there's going to be like the words with numbers and calculations as we do this. Let's get into it. Okay, so first off, I want to start by saying, laying down some caveats, if you will, some rules, some kind of what this analysis is about. We are not going to consider attacking other players as a source of food. While obviously that is a source of food for many, it is too hard for me to calculate what every player could get in every different server. So trying to do a general video about how to get as much food as you possibly can I'm never going to be able to calculate how much food you can get from raiding. Currently, as I've said before, it's very hard for me to raid because there's not a lot of people and there's definitely not a lot of stuff sitting around waiting for me to pick it up. There's a lot of active players on this server. Secondly, you have to understand that I am level 21 currently. So the things that I'm talking about, where I get food from the daily quests and stuff like that, those numbers will be different for you depending on your level. Everybody gets different things depending on their level. Same with the events and all that kind of stuff. Those numbers will be different and they will be in proportion to your level. So if you're a higher level, you're going to get more. If you're a lower level, you're going to get less. So with those two kind of caveats, what we're looking at is a way to get food every other way in the game that is available to every single player at any point within their development. Right? Cool. Let's go. So let's start off easy with some of the low-hanging fruit, so to speak. The farm plots. Everybody has these farm plots. You build them very early in the game, and I roughly have 10, I believe, sitting here. These farm plots, by clicking on them like so, and like so, we can plant. We have various different things we can plant. Obviously, you want to plant the maximum amount of time will get you the maximum amount of food. This number here can also be increased by research in the research tree, in the city branch of research. You will find the field yield. By increasing the level of this, you will increase the percentage of yield that you get from your farm plots. We can see currently that I am at 280. Was it 280? 280 per 12 hours per plot. Let's just double check that. That's correct. So roughly speaking, per day, I'm then going to be able to do all of these farms twice. So that's 10 farms done twice. That's going to get me about 5,600 food per day, or about 40,000 food per week. So that's the farm plots. Quite quick and quite not labor intensive at all. So something that definitely everybody should be doing on a daily basis for sure. The next easy low-hanging fruit, of course, is our farm. So this is a building that continuously produces food throughout the day. This does have many modifiers based on research and things like that. We can also adjust the percentage by having someone in our keep. Looking at it at a base level though, we can come up here and see that currently I produce 2,200 food per hour. That is roughly going to give me 52,000 or 53,000 per day, or about 370,000 food per week. This can be, as I said, increased by making sure that you always have a good noble in your keep in the room. Let's pop down and I'll show you that quickly. Boppity bop bop ba. There we go. Down here we could see drag 2 family members here to boost production. Now obviously having good family members with higher skills will give, that's a 10% there. Fantastic. What are you going to add? 15%. Okay, we could probably get that up a little bit higher, but that will definitely increase our production as well. If we pop in here and see, our production is now 2,500. So about 300 extra, which is not too bad at all. There is also the chance that we could be sitting on a Farmington. Well, not the chance, but we could decide to be sitting on a, say, a Royal Farmington down here, which is going to double our production. Doubling our production would bring us up roughly, let's just say, about 740,000 food per week, which is not too shabby, actually. So production is a really good way, just to kind of maximize your food. And if you're finding that food is an issue, consider sitting on top of a Farmington. Trade is also another nice, easy way to get little bits of food throughout the day. Now, currently I have a level 25 agent here, Michelle, who is doing swapping stone for food. This roughly takes about 2 hours, 50 minutes, and she gets 800 food for that. So roughly saying, if I got Michelle to be optimized as much as possible, she could do around 8 trades per day, getting me about 6,500 food. Now, obviously, we have other merchants and stuff like that as well that could be doing it, but roughly looking at it, we're looking at less than 10,000 a day in terms of trading. That will change, obviously, depending on levels, depending on traits that your nobles have, all of that kind of stuff. So you can increase it. However, I do think it's a relatively small amount of food that you can get in per day, and per week you're going to be looking at about 50,000 food, give or take maybe 10,000, depending on your levels and nobles and all of that kind of jazz. Now, continuing with the things that everybody can do quite easily and should get done every day, there are, of course, the daily goals. There are 2 kind of sets of these. There are the chests at the bottom, and then there are the tasks down the side. Again, I want to repeat that everybody will have slightly different daily goals depending on your keep level, and these will have slightly different rewards depending on your keep level, either better if you are a higher level than I am, or a little bit worse if you're a less level than I am. However, again, it should all be in proportion. But if we look at the chest up here, basically there are a couple of options where we get food, 1.2k there, and I believe the 5th chest is giving us 6.3. So our chests up the top here are going to give us about 7,500 food per day, which works out to about 52,500 per week. Now, down the side here, we also have, down the middle here, sorry, we also have these quests that we can do. And we can see if we pop down here, it is the Orc Hunter, Orc Slayer, Marauder, basically the attacking camp quests, which are going to give us a bit of food here as well. That all roughly adds up to about, what is it? Oh, I did the sums on this, and then I've lost it. 8,000, no. Yeah. Yeah, no, sorry, 8,200 per day to complete all of these, which is roughly about 57,400 per week. You also get a little nudge here in that this one here will offer you the weekly chest, will offer you 3,100 per week if you get this done, which is not too bad at all. So you're looking at roughly completing the daily goals. You're going to get about 110,000 per day by completing all of these things on a constant basis, which again, 110,000, sorry, per week, if you complete all of these things, not on a daily basis. Bam. Okay, now, before we get into the meaty stuff, and the meaty stuff is, of course, going to be raiding camps and doing things like that, doing the grind, there are some ways to get food that are just too random for us to kind of use, but they are, I guess, a benefit. So, we have the 4 chests daily, the 10-minute chest, the 4-hour chest, and the 24-hour chest. These always have a chance to randomly give you anything. It's a random generator. We can see here, if we click here, bam, what do we get? We got 1 minute heal. Okay, cool. That's great. That doesn't help us in any way possible, but we can get food from these chests. These is usually very small amounts. We're talking maybe a couple of hundred food that you might get. So over a day, if you're lucky, opening every 10-minute chest and opening every 4-hour and 1 24-hour, god, you might get a couple of thousand food at that. There is also the free daily chest that we get here in the bundles. This also has a chance to give you food at any point as well, once a day, maybe a little bit. It's a couple of hundred at that. And then obviously there are the events. So the events change depending on your server, depending on your level. There's certain things you can do. Your rewards are always different. It is far too kind of complicated and different for every individual player for me to go in. However, this is a source of food as well. Currently, this one's giving me lots of stone, which is great, but not really what I need. What's this one doing? Any food here? No, lots of stone and wood. Great, not necessarily what I need. No food here? No. Okay. So I think currently none of these events are actually giving me food, which is fine. Slightly annoying, but fine. But just to consider that there's those extra things, the 10-minute to 4-hour, 24-hour, the free chest, and then the events are also going to give you random amounts of food, which are kind of too hard to put into these calculations. Okay then, so let's just do a little bit of a recap here. So assuming we are going to be playing for about 2 hours per day, we could be logging in for an hour in the morning, an hour in the evening, spread out throughout the day, etc. But let's say 2 hours is a thing. Nobody, I think, is going to be playing 16 hours a day, though sometimes it feels like I do. But assuming we're going to play about 2 hours a day. So to recap, from the plots, which are basically pretty passive, we don't need to do much apart from click on them every so often, we're going to get about 5,600 per day. Okay, from trading, if we log in at the right times and trade, we're obviously not going to be able to do the full maybe 7 or 8 trades that we could do per day if we were completely logged in for 24 hours. But say from trading, we're probably going to get maybe 4 done per day. That's going to get us about 3,200. From production, which is completely passive, and obviously remembering, we're thinking about all our research and all that kind of stuff, but we're roughly going to get about 52,000 per day. So production is our kind of mainstay here. And then obviously from the daily goals and things like that, these are all pretty achievable within 2 hours of gameplay. Well, definitely very achievable within about 20 minutes of gameplay, I would say. But say if we do all of our daily goals, the chests up the top, all of the tasks down here, we're going to get about 7,500, and then once a week we'll get some from here, which is 3,000 or something. So say about 400 a day, and then all of that. What's that? That's 7,500. This one is 400. Oh, and then these tasks actually themselves are about 8,200. So roughly speaking, we're looking at about approximately 76,000 per day if we spend roughly 2 hours of game time playing spread out throughout the day. Now we get to the fun bit, is we get to the actual active playing, the active attacking camps in order to earn food. So obviously we have a number of options if we want to attack NPC camps in order to maximize our food intake. Ravagers are pointless. We ignore them completely. Basically, they're going to give us stone, and the food that they give us is only enough to replenish basically our healing cost and our actual deployment cost. Marauders, again, are useless because they basically focus on giving us wood, and the food that they give us only effectively replaces healing and deployment. The ones we focus on really are the Separatist camps and the Farmington or Royal Farmingtons. Those are the two that maximize our food intake. So Separatist camps, let's look at these first. So currently a level 20 Separatist camp is going to give me 3,500 of food in return. Bear with me in that I've done a lot of these sums over a 3 or 4 day period while I was playing and working, and also we changed alliances and lots of things happened. So I have done some research in between. So some of my figures, we're still talking rough figures here, yeah? But basically, attacking a level 20 Separatist army is going to give me 3,500 food. Now, to attack this, it is going to cost me, say, we're using this one army, Ulrika here, 981. Let's do that now. Now, roughly speaking, this is going to take us about 1 minute and 10 seconds. Now, obviously, how close the camp is itself is going to affect that. I sit in this area, and I'm staying in this area for a little bit simply because the spawn and respawn of all the camps around me is pretty good. There is rarely a point where I do not have a level 20 Separatist army to attack within that kind of 1 minute to 1 minute 20 cap. The whole thing takes me from pressing attack, from the actual attack happening. We can shoot in and have a quick look. Blah, 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 blah. And there they go. And there they go. Boom, boom, we are done. So that is roughly about 1 minute, 1 minute and 20 seconds on average. Now that gets us to 3,500 food. Obviously it cost us let me look at my figures again, 981 to do that. And then we have our healing. So the healing here for this lady is going to cost us 206 and take under 5 minutes. So it will be free. That is one of the keys here. What we're going to net from that then is 2,300 food roughly. And it's taken us about 1.5 minutes. Now the key to attacking the Separatist camps is that it is blind attacking. Okay, and by blind attacking it means I don't have to think about it. I know each of these 3 armies that I have, Ulrika, Street Fighter and Dixie, at the moment can attack a level 20 Separatist camp in under 1 minute 20 seconds, and they can heal under 5 minutes, so it is free. So effectively that means with enough Separatist camps around me, I can attack 3 per, say, under 2 minutes. All right? So what that means is that saying I can do 3 attacks under 1.5 minutes and get 2,300 food per 1.5 minutes means that, say, over a half an hour period, let's say we can attack 20 of these Separatist camps, just giving ourselves a little bit of time leeway there and all that kind of stuff. So in half an hour we can hit 20 of these camps. That's going to give us roughly, what is it, 192,000 in food if we do that in half an hour. I think I've got my sums right there. So with three armies getting 2,300 per 1.5 minutes, that equals 9,600. And if we do that 20 times, let me just double check there, 9,600 times 20 equals 192,000. Fantastic. Right, so within, what we're saying is within half an hour I can get 192,000 food. If we're saying that we're focused on a 2-hour window of gameplay per day, so it's half an hour here or 2 hours in a block in the morning, etc., etc., that should then net me about 768,000 worth of food per gameplay day, so which is that 2-hour thing, which is not too bad at all. Now that is obviously quite an intense, you kind of have to log on and just go bam 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 bam. You will be getting other things, but that's why I kind of left that leeway. If we're saying each attack takes about 1 minute, 1.5 minutes, but we're only doing 20 in every half an hour, that does give us a little bit of a few minutes either side that we can be doing other things as well. Okay, so we've considered the separation of the separatist army camps. Now let's consider the Farmingtons, and not the royal variety, just the normal Farmingtons. So staying in this area, Farmingtons are obviously fewer and further between. There is not a lot of them in each county, usually only 1, maybe 2. So you will have to travel further to get them. Where is the one I found just before? I've lost it already. Oh boy. Wait a second. There it is. Okay. No, that's not the one. There was one closer. Maybe not. You know, this has been hard to plan this whole video because I keep on forgetting what I'm doing and where I am. Let's just pause for a minute and just, well, we'll find. We'll say this is the one. This is the closest one we can find. So Farmingtons are not as prevalent as separatist camps, especially in the areas that I are in. You could get lucky and have your, find a place where there are a number of Farmingtons around you. But in general, you're going to have to travel further. Let's just get a little bit of a timer going on. You won't be able to see this, but I will get a stopwatch on my computer. Clear that, like so. And let's attack this Farmington. Now we should be able to one-shot this with this army, so let's go like so. Okay, so that's a cost there of 981. The Farmington itself gives us 5,800. So 5,800 minus 981. The timer I forgot to start, so we'll start that now. I'm so good at this. Like so, we're just going to add 20 seconds to that timer, or 10 seconds, because we were faffing around. And here we go. Now let's have a quick view of this. Let me view it, please. Thank you. While this is going on, and roughly I'm saying we've already spent about 30 or 40 seconds. Let's quickly advance them all, give them a little bit of a head start here, and see how long this is going to take. But now, obviously, we are not, especially at the level that we're at, and we're not going to be able to attack level 19 Farmingtons, which are definitely stronger than Separatist camps, with each of those armies that we have. So already immediately we are having a little bit of a slower thing. Now, we could send multiple armies, reinforce and all that kind of jazz. I don't think it's necessary because this guy should easily be able to take this out by themselves. And obviously, because we're attacking a Farmington or any sort of camp, the armies do have to go in sequence. So we can't just send 5 at a time and get it done as fast as possible. We have to wait until one is dead and then reinforce. Now, we're coming up to the finish bit here. We could look at going through the gates and stuff like that, and we'll talk about that in a second. Let's just see how long this takes. We're at about 1 minute 30. I'm going to say, cool, pause it there. So that's about 1 minute 45 seconds it took in order to do that Farmington. Let me just move my timer out of the way of my screen. Bam, bam, bam. Let's go back and see what we got. So we got our 5,800 for doing that. That cost us 980, and then the healing cost is going to be quite considerably higher. Let's have a quick look. Hurry up, man. Healing cost here is going to be 1,200. Okay, so if we go 5,800 minus 980 minus 1,200 equals 3,620. Okay, so we got 3,620 from that, which is obviously better than the 2,300 we are getting for a single attack on a Separatist camp. However, as I said, only one of my armies, maybe two, this guy probably could do it as well. This little one here could not defeat a Farmington by themselves. Okay, the healing cost is higher and will be higher for both these two. Now, you could just say, oh, well, level up your armies and get better armies, and that's how you're going to do it. I'm trying to kind of do a flash, if you would, a snapshot of where I am at the moment and how that affects. Not everybody is going to have an army that can beat a Farmington, or have 5 armies that could beat a Farmington by themselves with minimal healing cost. The other question obviously is that there is only one Farmington here. There might be some more around. Okay, so there's one down there, so we've got 2 within, let's say that's going to be 1 minute 45 seconds as well. So there's 2 within there. Any more around? And there's probably a couple more scattered around as well. So basically what we're going to have to do if we wanted to go down the Farmington route, so attacking Farmingtons in order to do it, is we have to make sure that we have enough around us. We can also only attack one army per time, so that's going to take us 1.5 minutes. The healing does have a 25 minutes to heal there, okay, and obviously we can increase our research and heal and all that kind of stuff, but that is still a considerable amount. I'll have to spend healing speed ups in order to use those if I want to attack Farmingtons. Now, some people are going to go, Mr. Gill, you're an idiot. What you should be doing is attacking that Farmington with the, where is it? With your machines. Let's find a Farmington quickly so I can show you. We're not going to do it because it's boring, but where was that one we just saw? This is like, where's Wally? You scroll around this map and I completely get lost. Okay, there's the Farmington. Let's just have a quick look at it. So a lot of people, and we did a video about this, I think it was called Training to Win a little bit ago. A lot of people will say, Mr. Gill, what you should have done is use your machine army and come in this side. Yeah, like assault, bash down the walls with the with the ballista, bash down the walls with the ballista, bash down here, and bang, you're in, and job's done. You're an uncle. That is fine. However, what that is not a blind attack. Okay, we are talking about, or I'm hoping to kind of impress on you that while that is a viable option and probably would be as fast and result in less healing time, what that is me actively, the player actively being engaged in that, as opposed to with attacking the Separatist camps, I can do it blindly. Attack, heal, attack, heal, attack, heal, attack, heal, attack, heal, attack, heal. I can get them done so much faster than if I was here, managing that ballista, putting them in the right spot, pressing play, watching, yeah, okay, cool, it's done. So, my conclusions are that whilst attacking a Farmington will give us a higher return, so about 3,600 of food, it will take longer for a blind attack, so about a minute 45. So we're not going to get those 20 done per half an hour. We're probably going to say, let's say, be generous here and say we get 15 done. Okay, so 15 times 3,620 is going to equal 54,000 per half an hour. Now remember, we can only send one army to do this because not all of our armies are going to be able to beat a Farmington by themselves. And obviously, as I said, people might have completely different setups and they can do it, but that's not the point of this exercise here. But 54,000, say we're going to play for 2 hours, that's going to give us times 2 equals, no, times 2 again equals 217,000 per 2 hours of active gameplay, which is considerably amount, about 500,000 in food less than if we were to blindly attack the level 20 Separatist camps. So my conclusion is that the Farmingtons, whilst a short term, and if I was just pissing around on the game and playing as a short term little hit, yes, they are going to be better. However, you will deal with higher healing costs. You will have to be more active in your attack if you want to get it done with a lower healing cost, and it's just going to take more time. And you have to find the damn Farmingtons all over the place, and you're running all over the map trying to get the damn things. So Farmingtons, in my view, not as good as attacking level 20 Separatist camps. The other option we have here is, of course, the Royal Farmington. Now, I'm sure you can all guess what my conclusions will be about this, but let's just run through the kind of options. Now, Royal Farmingtons definitely do not spawn as much as Farmingtons themselves or as much as the Separatist armies. There are usually only 1 or 2 Royal Farmingtons around, especially within, say, a couple of minutes attacking distance. So that is definitely an issue in that we're not going to be able to hit as many of these as possible. One thing we didn't mention just in that clip there about the Farmingtons, obviously the Farmingtons also have a cooldown. Once you attack them, it does take 10 minutes for them to get out of chaos, during which time they can be conquered, which is fantastic, but they cannot be attacked again. So there is that 10-minute cooldown. So when we're looking at Royal Farmington, we can't just hit this again and again and again and again. We have to find 3 or 4 of these things around that we can hit, I guess, in sequence in order to maximize the income that we're getting. Now, let's just hit this baby here. First off, we'll just heal up our thingy who was sitting around. Blah, 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 blah. And again, we're just using the same army for all of this. Now, I definitely don't have 3 armies that could attack a Royal Farmington single-handedly and win. I do believe that this Ulrika might do it by herself. I think so. I tested yesterday, I'm pretty sure. First off, we get 8,400 food. It's going to cost us 980 to do the attack. Let's hit the button. Bam. Let's also, wait a second, reset and press attack and start our timer again, which you won't see. I would love to be able to put a timer up on the screen. It's just a bit of a hassle, so I'm not going to do it. View like so. Now, I'm pretty sure Ulrika here will be able to do this whole thing by herself. We're going to press advanced all. If not, we are just going to reinforce in case, because I do want to actually get the thing done. So roughly speaking, this could cost us another 802. Could. Yeah, I'm just doing that as a kind of addition in case. Bam, 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 bam. Sip of coffee time, I believe. If you've got a snack, take a snack. If you've got some water, drink some water. Oh, lukewarm coffee is great. Every day, make a coffee, start recording, completely forget about coffee, and then drink coffee while it's warm and kind of cold. It's not great. It's not a great thing to do. Yeah, it's just not good. Now, I'm pretty sure this is going to be able to beat this. It really depends how fast these guys are here and whether one of these armies goes, see the golden army? Went, oh, I see these guys. I'm going to go kick their butts. Kind of annoying because if they'd just gone straight for the door, we would have been in a lot faster. But that's fine. Coming up to the victory now. Quickly. We're about a minute and 15 here, it's pretty fast. Oh, that guy died, so we have to wait for that one to come all the way back. That kind of sucks. Like so. We're at about a minute 30 now. all the way through. Bam and bam. So that was about 1 minute 40 seconds. So actually a little bit faster than attacking the Farmington itself. We seem to get through there a little bit quicker, which is interesting. Now, we got our 980. We didn't have to use, sorry, 1 second. Let's get out of this. We didn't have to use our second army, so the cost for that was only 980. We got 8,400. Let's have a look at our healing. Oh boy. Okay, so our healing cost here is going to be minus 4,300. Okay, so doing those sums quickly on my phone, we got minus 8,400 minus 980 minus 4,300 is going to equal 3,120 is our net here. Let's start you healing. Now, the problem being, of course, that time-wise, that was pretty quick, 1 minute 40. If we could hit this thing again, that actually might not be a bad thing. It was slightly faster than the Farmington 19 for a far better reward. No, it wasn't actually. Look at that, the Farmington 19, because of the healing cost. All right, okay, yeah. Farmington 19's got us 3,500, 3,600. So it's not as good, to be honest. Now, a lot of people are going to say, again, Gil, you could have used your machines, gone in the backside, done this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. That's not the issue here, guys, is that that's not a blind attack. Basically, again, you're asking me to be active in the kind of attack there, which is not a efficient way of farming resources, especially in a mobile game. We want the most efficient. We don't want to have to be sitting here going blip, 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 blip. We just want to attack, grind the situation out. We also have the issue here is that this Farmington is now out of in chaos for 10 minutes, so we cannot do anything to it for 10 minutes. I do not believe there is another free Royal Farmington within distance. I haven't been able to find one for a little while. I have had a quick look, but I haven't seen one for a while. So at the very least, we're only going to be able to attack 3 of these. Let's say we find another one. Yeah, okay, let's say we find another one and say we can do 6. Okay, so we find another one close and we can do 6 every half an hour, so waiting for the cooldown and getting that done. So that means that if we do 6, that's times that by that's going to be 18,000 per half an hour, and then times that by 4, because we're doing 4 blocks, is going to be 75,000 per 2-hour active gameplay time. Okay, let's recap a little bit of that. So basically we're saying attacking the level 20 Separatist camps is going to give us about 3,200 in return. We can use all 3 of our armies for that. So we're going to be able to do about 60 attacks per half an hour, which is going to give us about 768,000 during our 2-hour active play window. If we attack the Farmington 19s, we're going to get about 3,600. We can do about 15 attacks per half an hour, which is going to give us about 217,000 per our active 2-hour window. And then if we attack the Royal Farmingtons, we're going to get about 3,100 back. We can do roughly about 6 attacks per hour, and we're going to end up with about 75,000 per day of play, which we're saying is 2 hours. Now, obviously, it is therefore, by these conclusions, far better to be attacking the level 20 Separatist camps if you want to grind and be, I guess, the most efficient in order to achieve your goals. Now, will you be able to grind for 60 attacks per day? Is it 60 attacks? No, it's more than that. It's like 240 attacks per day, basically, in order to achieve that 768,000 per day income of food. Yeah, not many people are going to do that. But even if you don't, if you're going to do anything over, say, 20 to 30 attacks per day, it is going to be better for you to start attacking the level 20 Separatist camps than it is for you to attack these. Now, anything under that, if you've got half an hour max and that's all you're going to be able to do, then definitely the Royal Farmingtons or the Farmington 19s might be a better option for you. Obviously, if you are far stronger than I am, you have better troops and all that kind of stuff, this is going to change how you do it, and farming Royal Farmingtons might be a viable option because you don't have as much healing cost. If you're far weaker than I am, then basically what you need to do is start looking at level 18, level 17, all that kind of stuff, level 15 Separatist armies, because I think that's the best way to go. Now, I wanted to do this little analysis at this point, at level 21, because I feel it is the point. Level 21 is where you can get tier 3 troops, and you start to actually massively increase your military power, so to speak. You can also unlock rare troop equipment and all that stuff. So after this point, we're going to start to have far more golden veteran troops in our armies. We're going to start to have better equipment and all that kind of stuff, and we're going to actually be able to go and maybe consider farming Royal Farmingtons as our thing. Up until this point, I have effectively got all of my food by farming the level 20 Separatist camps, and I do suggest that as the most efficient way to grind out the amount of food you will need at this point in your gaming life, so to speak. So I hope everybody kind of enjoyed that. Basically, what we're kind of saying now, if you play for about 2 hours a day, you have the potential, through all of the kind of normal means, pressing these and doing the kind of ticking all the boxes and the dailies and all that kind of stuff, and the production of food, you're going to get about 76,000 in food. Add that together with active grinding of level 20 Separatist camps, you should be able to get another 768, which is going to put you somewhere at about the 840,000 food per day, which is pretty much more than you'll ever need. I think at this point you'll start running out of other resources, silver, etc., that you need in order to train troops. And that is the point of this, is that we are at this point where having to train veteran troops is incredibly expensive. If we kind of go and have a quick look, bam, like so, we could see just to do 71, how much is it to do one? It's going to cost me 1,500 to do one troop at the moment. And I roughly need another, 500 here, 500 there, 2,000 there, nearly 2,000 there. So I need, 4,000 or 5,000 troops coming through at the moment, veterans of various types. And that's going to cost me, a couple of million in food. So technically, I could probably achieve all of that in about 4 days if I grinded all of these camps, as we've just seen, did all of the things, ticked all the boxes. I could technically have enough food to train everybody in 3 to 4 days. But it is a game. I will be attacked. Things will happen. I won't have enough silver. I'll have to do some research. Things will go over here. I'll need to do this, and blah, 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 blah. And you're never going to get there. But I hope that this has kind of helped. There's a little bit of an analysis about food, and something that I was doing personally because I'm a little bit grumpy about how much food there isn't on the map. There's nobody to attack, and now we're in an even bigger alliance. I think, what are we, number 2? Well, now we're number 2. Right, yeah, it's harder and harder to find things to attack. So, I hope that's helped you. Now, please, 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 I am sure, regardless of all the times throughout this video that I've tried to say, it can be different for you, and this is just how I'm doing it, and don't, people are going to say, you're an idiot, Mr. Gill, why didn't you just do that? Or, you're not very strong, you should be stronger because you're slow and you're shit. And that's what happens every video, is people feel that just because they're slightly faster or something like that, they feel that they have a right to tell me that I'm wrong, which is completely fair. You have every right to tell me I'm wrong. To be honest, I don't really care. This is how I do it. What I would like to hear is constructive criticism. You could say to me, you know what, Gil, I actually think you're right about that, but try doing this. That really helps. And that really helps other people who are watching the video, because they can read that comment in the months and years to come, and it'll help them in their gameplay as well. So leave a comment down below, something constructive. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you do every day, and hopefully we can all learn together. Thank you so much for watching. This took bloody ages. This is like just filming. I never film clips, little bits and stick them all together. This editing is going to take me forever, but I have an hour before the pub opens, so I reckon I've got some time. Catch you in the next one, guys. Click the like, subscribe, and all that kind of jazz. Catch you soon. Bye.